Hi everyone, this is Marie Boo Angel, and today I'm playing Tattoos and Tulips. This has been recommended to me for a very long time now. Um, I guess in 2023, I would believe. Um, but that's okay that I'm getting to it now rather than earlier. I felt particularly inspired today to choose a visual novel that takes place in a different season that I'm currently in, aka winter in the northern hemisphere. So, by good authority, aka the game page, I believe that this visual novel, generally for a good chunk of it, takes place in spring, summer, or in a place that just doesn't really seem to get cold. And I love that for our characters. I'm very intrigued, and I am just so excited to get into the story and see how all the characters come about and what romance happens. So let's just get started. We're gonna press start. Chapter 1. Here comes the sunflower. Even the tiniest of flowers can have the toughest roots. Shannon Mullen. I like that. We don't look happy. Busy Bee Flower Shop. I love this place. How cute. Honestly, I want a local florist like this. A local florist shop. Look, the little bee in the back. Do you see this little bee? This little bee is so cute. Anyways. Oh, and this bee. This bee reminds me of the Jolly Bee. The Jolly Bee mascot. Anyways, so this is the shop called Busy Bee. I miss you.
Oh, hell no.
Oh gosh, Chrys. I glare at my phone screen, uncertain of what I should do. How do they possibly expect me to respond? Oh, I miss you too. Missed how you cheated and lied to me for 8 months straight. I grip my phone and shut it off.
I can't deal with this right now.
Fair. What a perfect ending to a horrible day. I find it hard that even enjoy the sunset dancing across the Queen Anne's laces, their perfect white taking on the sherbet sky. Only an hour left until closing time, then I can go to bed early and forget today ever happened. Why do customers feel so entitled to everything? How am I supposed to help that our delivery truck is late? I don't care if it's your wedding in a week, ma'am. I can't do anything about it. God. Okay. I get it. There should be more compassion to the person on the other side, the person, customer, the person who is trying to help you. But also, there should be compassion on the other side too. But you really can't do that much if your delivery truck is late, but it is a big event, a wedding, I would be so stressed either way. Oh, what's that? You're never coming back? Like I care. Have fun traveling halfway across town to the other florist, the one with more pests than petunias. Okay, I'm reading that Chrys is a bit more than a bit cynical. God, I hate customer service. This stuff is for the birds, or the fortunate souls like me who actually enjoy working here when it's just me and the plants. If only my granny owned a farm, but I'm from a family of citygoers who have barely a foot of grass to our name. This is not Stardew Valley. Speaking of Granny, she's probably in bed already. I look at the clock. 6:15. Yeah, she's definitely asleep by now. How am I supposed to pass time for 45 whole minutes? I find myself continually looking at the clock, foolishly thinking that every time I look back at it, a decent amount of time has passed. But it barely moves. I will say reading my webcomics really makes time go by quickly. Whenever I'm on a bus or something and I'm like, oh, this ride is going to take 30 minutes. Pull out my phone, pull up the app for the webcomics, and I read those, I'm there. The ride is over. I hope the clock's not broken. When was the last time that thing was fixed anyway? Feeling hopeful, I look at the time on my phone, greeted by the pesky notification from my ex still plastered on my screen. I swipe to remove it. Then I realized to my horror that the clock was in fact running fast. It's actually 6:10. Oh gosh, that's 5 minutes does make a difference. I slam my head down on the counter. I'd scream if I had a pillow, but maybe I can get away with it since no one's here. I suck in a breath, then I hear the door chime. Hello, good timing. That would have been more awkward if, you were just screaming and someone came in the door. Of course. I shoot my head up, not making any attempt to mask my mood. Who could possibly need flowers at this time? Why doesn't Granny just close the shop earlier? No one ever shows up in the last hour anyway. I mean, someone did. I look up, not expecting to see anyone in particular. Maybe a businessman or a mother and daughter. Oh. But instead, I see a man around my age, maybe early 20s. The more I look at him, the more I realize that everything about him is striking, and we're blushing. Ooh, I love this for you. You know what? This is how you're like, universe, help me kill some time here this last hour. And how fortuitous. Someone very striking has appeared. I love this. I too would be very entertained by this idea. I love the blushing. His hair, he has long hair and terracotta skin. He's tall and muscular with tattoos covering one arm and a smaller one on his shoulder blade. He's carrying a black book in his hand. But the thing that stands out the most is his smile. He's beaming, all teeth, looking right at me. It's the brightest smile I've ever seen a person wear. I'm sure he can keep the flowers constantly fed with it. As strange as it is, it definitely suits him. I hate myself a bit when I realize the obvious. He's gorgeous. My stomach twists at the realization. This isn't an unfamiliar sensation. I've felt this way before, too many times. And I decide in that moment, not again. No. We're jaded. We're jaded from our past experiences. No, Chrys. I mean, I get it, but no.
Hey, what time do you guys close?
It's an innocent enough question, though I don't know what guys he's referring to. I'm clearly the only one standing here. I mean, mostly people use that, like, you guys, like that second person plural. Not that you need an explanation. I mean, I use it a lot for like the business. It's like an entity, It's like this, whoop, like if I go to Target or something and I'm like, when do you guys close? I'm not like, even if there was only one person in that shop, I'd probably still say, when do you guys close? Because like Target, I imagine many people and a big, I don't know, like big and like large entity, large corporation with many people that are faceless at the moment. But anyway, sorry, that was really just a tangent. Oh, Chrys. I kind of like that so far it seems that personality-wise, we don't really know much of our mystery man right now. But if the smile is anything to go by, is definitely more of a more sunshiny feel versus Chrys, who's a bit more grumpy. And despite that, they're like, aesthetically, their personalities are also like opposite from that. So like more seemingly doom and gloom on the left here with like, the monochrome, like black tank, black tattoos, the dark jeans, and more the sunshiny personality on the left side here with Mystery Man, and Chrys being like, oh, I'm so grumpy and gloomy, but then actually being like very bright. I'm sure that's very purposeful, and I love that. I love that combination of things. It's very fun. But my confusion and irritation is enough to pull me right back down to reality. If he just stood at the door a second longer, he'd have seen that we close at 7. I suck in a breath as I tell him.
7 and not a minute later. I've been here forever.
I feel annoyed instantly. I can't focus on anything outside of my tired eyes and sore neck. I'm sure it's showing on my face, but I don't care. Not today. Well, to be fair, not really any day. But especially not today.
Oh, great. I'll try not to be too long.
It's nice that, it's nice that this person checked it. I do feel bad sometimes if even if I go to a business and it's 30 minutes before closing, a shop that I know I'm only going to be there for 10 minutes. I feel so bad. But then at the same time, it's I don't know, it's technically open. How do people feel about that? It's potential business, but I'm sure you would rather not something occur, especially if you're in the food industry and you wouldn't obviously you have to make a last call for drinks or food or things like that. I get but anyways, I don't know, but I would also probably say something along these lines so I wouldn't be too long.
I know this is weird, but can I sketch in here?
Huh?
Okay.
You want to do what?
Sketch the flowers? I ask immediately, not even taking the time to think over what he said.
Draw. I brought my sketch pad.
He lifts up his black book to show me. I don't say anything. Hopefully he'll take the hint and just leave, or explain himself better. He rubs the back of his neck and avoids my eyes. Huh. He seemed like a scary guy. I'm surprised that worked.
I can also just purchase some flowers and take them home. But I'm not really good with plants, honestly. I just wanted to sketch the flowers. So I chose a time you guys weren't very busy, so I don't disturb the shop or anything.
Okay. I like the reasoning. Tell me more. That's a first. No one has ever wanted to do that here. I'm still confused, but I hear him out.
I'm a tattoo artist across the street. Tattoo. Maybe you've heard of it?
Oh my gosh, I love that name. I love things like that. Is there a place like that for real? I want to know. He makes a peace sign with his fingers. No, not a peace sign. The number 2. Oh, I get it. It almost sounds like he's trying to brag, so I shut him down in a moment. The name was equally dumb and clever.
I've never heard of it.
It's not entirely a lie. I know it exists, but I've never seen it. Or I've never been. I have no business there. He tugs at the back. Sorry, I'm what does your shirt say? Does that say Decapitation Nation? Is that a band? That sounds fun. I like the font or the design, logo design. He tugs at the back of his neck, still smiling and shuffling his feet. I would have never expected someone who looks like him to do such a thing. I find myself feeling sort of bad for being so harsh before.
You don't have to buy anything. Don't want you wasting your money on something you'll kill in under a week.
He shrinks a bit at that. Seeing such a sad display makes me realize just how much of a monster I'm being. Alright, I'll lighten up. Just a bit.
But you can do whatever the hell you want. It's not my store. I just stand here and look pretty, I guess.
I shrug. I plan on laying my head back on the counter when he disturbs my peace again.
You're doing a good job.
Oh? Sorry, I don't know. I literally am just I'm just witnessing this, so I'm just gonna be ooh? Okay.
Huh?
Hold on. Is he hitting on me? I would think so. This guy is just chock full of surprises. I feel myself flush, but I don't let him see me. I shake it off and look him straight in the eyes, hoping that my trick will work a second time, and he'll either retreat or address me. He meets my gaze for a moment, bites his lip, and averts his eyes. But he still addresses me despite showing signs he'd flee.
So, do you have any tattoos?
Great, we love it. Let's find commonalities here. He attempts to converse, even though I'm positive that he knows the answer already. My skin is plain, and the only marks on me are the freckles I was cursed with. I mean, I don't know. Like, we don't know where you could have tattoos. I look down at myself in my, admittedly favorite, yellow apron and white shirt, accompanied by naked arms.
No, I think I'd just scare away all the old farts that come in here. Besides, I've always been pretty scared of needles. And blood.
That's a shame on the needle's part. They don't have to bleed. Usually that's a sign of overworking the skin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But regardless, I think you would look really good with one.
Oh.
Even if it's just a small hidden one. For instance, I have a little one right here.
Where? Gosh. I saw this on the screenshot, we're scandalized. But he's like, with the arms all tight. Dang, okay. He lifts the hem of his shirt, holding it to his chest to reveal a little sunflower on his V-line, neighboring a six-pack. He's ripped as brick. My mind turns to mush when he does that. I raise my hands as if to stop him, and I feel the blood rush to my face. Why'd you know the guy was wearing a watch? How fun. It confirms my suspicions about him. I definitely don't trust this guy. Not because of his style or anything, but is he really here to just doodle flowers or whatever? I mean, he could have come in here with a motive. An ulterior motive, aka maybe to flirt with you, Chrys. Maybe he's seen you before, because I'm assuming the tattoo place is nearby. Or, you know, how big is this town? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. That's the weirdest excuse I've ever heard. Is he trying to seduce me? I don't know why he would want to do that or what he gain. The store doesn't make that much money, and I can't offer him anything. So I guess trusting him or not makes no difference.
Aren't you supposed to be coloring or something?
He's like, put your shirt down. But also, that's funny. I love it.
Oh, sorry. I only meant... Anyway, I'll be over there with the tulips if you need me for anything.
This is so funny. I'm unsure what to think, so I keep my eye on him. Not that it's a difficult task, though. He's very easy on the eyes. He pulls up a nearby stool and flips open his sketchbook before drawing the bouquet of tulips. Yeah, he has like a rose right here. Roses. And then this is like a bigger flower, but I don't know what kind. Question, would any of you get tattoos? I, for one, am very open to the idea, though I have very much trouble deciding on a particular design that I would want on my body. I think it's really the thing, so I don't know. I like the idea of it, but I haven't found anything that I really want to get. I think is really it. Okay, anyways, but let me know if you have ever thought about getting a tattoo, or are you just not about it? Totally fair either way. I watch him for a bit, not sure what I should do with myself. The only non-weird option is to just see what he's doing. As I get close to him, he drops his pencil onto the sketchbook and meets my gaze, surprising me. He reaches his hand out to me. A handshake.
My name is Shay, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's your name. Hi, Shay. I take it, and he flashes me another blinding smile. I almost flinch at the sight of it.
Chrys.
He really does have a nice smile. The guy, Shay, cocks his head at my name tag.
Huh. So it's pronounced like Chrys, but you spell it like chrysanthemum. That's pretty sick.
Oh, that's cute. Is it short for chrysanthemum? He thinks it's cool? I mean, I'm assuming it's not actually chrysanthemum, but you know, it's That'd be cute too. I find myself struggling to respond, but luckily I find my footing.
Yeah, my whole family are a bunch of flower enthusiasts. My granny owns this place, actually.
Granny? Why am I telling him this? Why am I engaging in conversation with this guy? Well, I mean, you have whatever long left to finish up the, close up the shop. You might as well do something that will pass time, aka speak with someone who's there, even if you weren't thinking that he's gorgeous or whatever. Don't tell me it's just because he's attractive. I have higher standards than that. Flush, flush. Don't I? Oh, cool. This place is really nice around this time. A lot less rowdy than my shop. Maybe, but it's a lot more boring here, especially around closing time. Shay scratches away at his sketchpad, and my curiosity gets the better of me. I need to make sure that I'm also kind of narrating more in my whatever Chrys voice I'm trying to do. I peek down at the page. What I see is just a bunch of messy pencil lines, but it really does capture the accuracy and beauty of the Triumph tulips before him. You're not bad. I'm surprised at myself for even acknowledging it, let alone saying it. He coughs out a laugh like he's surprised I say such a thing. It's true, I'm not one for compliments, but, well, I felt it necessary to tell him.
Thanks.
I need to work on my flower drawing skills. Despite what he says, I can tell they're tulips just by looking at them. I'm hoping the next time I tattoo a flower on someone, it'll look halfway decent. If the sketches are anything to go off of, he's more than halfway decent. He's very quick and accurate. Within a few more moments, he's already got a few more flowers on the page. Mostly the tulips, but there are a sprinkling of dahlias and daffodils interspersed, all different angles and shapes. He captures the little details, the droplets from where I sprayed them earlier, the slight curvature of the stems, or just how many flower tendrils there are. So, did you really come in here just to draw flowers? He looks at me and raises an eyebrow. Yeah, I needed a reference to draw flowers better. Tulips are pretty common, also roses and daisies. I was also hoping to sketch those dahlias over there. He even points his pen to the correct group of flowers. Okay, paying attention. I struggle a bit with all of them, honestly.
Huh?
Huh? He knows the name of some flowers? Who would have thought? That's rare. Maybe he did his research before he came in. I mean, I would hope so. Like, if he's trying to figure out how to draw flowers, like, you know, referencing them or finding references would be good, and I would assume you would have to know their names. But he's being modest. If he was any better, he'd have just as well taken a picture of it. So, I remembered this place and dropped by. I could have looked up a reference or something, but I like the real deal. You guys have a great selection. He looks around. Oh, what other flowers? You have flowers I didn't even know existed. Well, how many flowers do you know about? More than most. But obviously not more than a florist would. I tried not to feel too smug about it, but yeah, I know a thing or two about flowers. It doesn't make for a good conversation though, so maybe I'll spare him the flower facts for today. My phone chimes once again, and I whip it out of my pocket. After looking at it and realizing that it's another text from them, I swipe at it as fast as I can. Maybe a bit too aggressively, I admit. Shay gives me a confused look, and I look, and I realize how unnecessary I acted before. Great. Now I have to explain myself. I attempt to do just that, but he raises a hand to stop me. Hey, you don't have to explain yourself, man. It's your business. He says it whilst maintaining that same infectious smile. Does his face not hurt? Maybe he should take up a job as a news broadcaster. He continues to sketch away. I guess I don't need to come up with an excuse then. All right, well, good. Blush. It just gets me heated to think about it anyway. I begin to think our conversation dies there, and I don't know how to keep it alive. Or if I even want to, for that matter. Luckily, and to my surprise, Shay keeps talking. You don't mind if I keep coming back to draw in here, do you? I shake my head. Do whatever you want. He flashes me another smile. He finishes his sketches while I start closing up in the remaining time, and we do our own thing in each other's company. I'd even go as far to say it's pleasant. Closing time comes quicker than I expected to. I start packing up my stuff, and Shay does the same. We meet each other at the door, and I remember that I don't need to leave. I live upstairs. Am I some kind of idiot? No. I actually forgot to do something. Blush, blush. I back away from the door. I can't believe I did that. Oh, gotcha. It was nice talking to you, Chrys. It was?
Yeah.
It isn't much of a farewell, but he seems satisfied with that. Have a good night. I'll be seeing you around. Likewise. Mostly because he's right down the street. I can see him anytime I look out the window if I try hard enough. Or had a pair of binoculars. Lol. But that's creepy. You could also go to the store, but whatever. It's too early for that. Whatever. And say, hey, I finally have checked out that tattoo shop. The place that you work at. Huh. Great. Obviously. And with that, he waves me goodbye, and he's gone a moment later. I stare at the spot where he stood for another moment before I realize just what I'm doing. I retreat behind the counter and pull out my phone. What I thought was another text from my ex is instead a text from my best friend, Bea. Bea. The first good friend I've had since, well, elementary school. I had to cut off a lot of my friends from high school and afterward, effectively leaving the life I led with them behind. The alcohol, drugs, and crime right along with it. Okay, backstory. It's been 2 years since then, but my life pales in comparison to those days. Always exciting, always unplanned, always filled with danger. Okay, so you're looking for something different, but you're still adjusting. I don't miss it, of course. I gained a lot of resentment from my folks. Even so far as being kicked out and forced to stay with my granny here. But ever since I've been good, for lack of a better word, my life is good, for lack of a better word. I thought there was gonna be more for some reason. My life is now a boring one, but I find joy in flowers. I always was an outdoorsy kid, but now I can't really imagine myself not having some greenery in my life. Beats those backstabbers I called my friends any day. At least I can see the thorns in a rose. True that. Well, all my friends were backstabbers except for Bea. When I first moved here 2 years ago, she showed me friends didn't have to be in name alone. I should call her. I really, really want to hear her voice. I need some form of comfort. What a day. I feel like I haven't been able to breathe for a whole hour. Okay. We're gonna do 2 chapters, I think. But yeah, let's see. Chapter 2, Best Buds. But he that dares not grasp the thorn should never crave the rose. Anne Bronte. Something about danger and risk.
Hello.
Bea! The second I hear her sweet voice, I can feel my eyes start to well up with tears and my throat tightening up. I prevent myself from giving in just yet.
Hey, are you busy? I need to vent for a bit.
I sound a bit stiff.
Are you in an okay headspace to hear me rant?
Yeah. Also, I'm never too busy for you.
Oh,
What's wrong?
that's all it takes for the floodgates to open, and out comes the waterworks.
I had such a bad day. First I overslept, then a customer yelled at me, and to top everything off, my stupid ex texts me out of the blue.
Gosh.
Like, what do they want? I haven't spoken to them in months. And today, of all days,
What did they say?
I miss you. Can you believe that?
Well, yeah, actually. You were really great to them. They, however, were a major douche.
I know. They just... The whole time we were together, they never said nice things like that to me, and now... Why?
They realize what they've lost, Chrys. You know? That's a bit too little too late.
Don't listen to their bull. They are just trying to manipulate you, sweetie. You are so much better without them. Do you want me to fight them? I'll do it. I know people.
I love Bea so much already.
I won't listen, I swear. I'm happy I got out of that relationship, and I appreciate your, enthusiasm. I'm just... It's so frustrating.
Baby is crying. Oh, the tears. Just want to wipe them away from your face.
I know, honey. I'm so sorry. Have you not blocked them?
I start to wipe at my eyes with my forearm. It seems like crying is helping me calm down a bit. Crying is good for you. For processing feelings and all that. I'm not even sad, just really angry, fed up, and now a bit embarrassed. But I knew that Bea wouldn't judge me. She never does.
Don't apologize. You didn't do anything. And I did block them, but they keep making new numbers.
Ew, stop making new numbers.
I need to change mine.
Yeah, you really do. And I know it's not my fault, but I'm just sorry you have to go through that. And don't worry about being late. I'm sure your granny didn't mind.
I know, but she had to open for me this morning, and it made her late to her doctor's appointment. I felt horrible.
Well, did she say she was upset with you?
I think about it for a moment. Granny doesn't know how to be subtle or secretive. If she was upset with me, I'd probably know it.
Well, no.
Then don't get so worked up. You're always on time. If she had a problem, she would have said so. Besides, everyone makes mistakes. And about that customer, they can shove it. It isn't anything personal. They're just trying to feel powerful by talking down to us working class people.
I understand that, but it just was all too much today.
Hey, I hear you. I'm not undermining it. It's always going to be hard. I work in customer service too, remember? And a mall of all things? People are crazy in malls, let me tell you. I can't tell you how many freak out at me over the smallest things. Why are their jeans only in sizes 3 and 4? What about 5?
Gosh. She starts quoting what I assume is some customer she dealt with, doing a silly Karen-esque impression.
Anyway, was there anything else that happened? Anything else you want to talk about?
Something comes to mind and I hesitate, feeling a bit silly for doing so. This is Bea I'm talking about. She's one of the only people I know I can tell about this, besides Granny.
Well, there was this guy.
Blush, blush. She hums, giggling to herself. She already knows what I'm about to say. Am I that predictable? How many times have I had this same discussion with her about an attractive person? Well, many times actually. Besides flowers, 20-something-year-old cuties were my absolute weakness.
I'm listening.
It's not like that.
I attempt to lie, but she sees right through it.
Oh, so you just want to talk about some random customer then?
Right? Of course not. Where's the fun in that?
No.
Chrys, stop holding out on me. Tell me about them.
Well, he's a tattoo artist. He works across the street. Tattoo, he said. Get it? Tattoo like the number 2? It's stupid, I know.
She sounds surprised.
What's up?
Hey, just that, doesn't sound like your type.
Huh? I don't have a type, you know that.
The type for me is hot. Plain and simple.
He was very nice. He came here to draw some flowers for a reference or something.
I'm just,
Nice. No, that's not your type at all.
She isn't entirely wrong. And maybe that's why I'm in this situation now. I shake the thought from my head before it can get a hold of me. Still, I enjoyed being around a genuinely kind human being. It's a nice change of pace.
He didn't look kind, but he definitely was. We talked for a bit. He said he wants to come back.
Wow, that doesn't sound so bad. What does he look like?
Huh. He's got long black hair, dark eyes, piercings, muscles, a tattoo on one arm, and his skin is flawless. And, get this. He's got the cutest sunflower tattoo on his stomach. And a six-pack.
That sounds very adorable and very hot.
I nod eagerly, although she can't see me.
So, what? You're telling me you're not gonna ask him out?
I can't.
But I can still acknowledge that he's an attractive guy. I have eyes, after all.
You can't?
Well, yeah, I mean, I can, but I can't. I'm still so damaged from my other relationships. It's just way too soon.
That is very mature of you, Chrys. Take some time. Keep taking enough time for yourself, you know?
I mean, I can't even receive a text message from my ex without freaking out. Rushing into something else would just make things worse. Besides, he's too good for me. You said it yourself.
When did she say that?
I never said that. You just chose to hear that.
Exactly.
Chrys, you're great. You're just a bit bent at the moment. You don't want to believe you're capable of dating.
I mean, I'm all for like taking time for yourself and whatever, especially after, ending a relationship. So like, but also don't forget you can put yourself out there. But there needs to be a balance. I wonder how that will be addressed here. It doesn't seem like they'll really get together right away. Anyways, it feels more of a little slow burn situation. So we will see.
You're just a bit out of it right now, and you need time to heal. But that's really mature of you. You're a better person than me. I'd be all over that, like bees on honey. It's a shame. He sounds like a real catch.
He really is. Hey, why don't I ask him out for you?
No. No way.
But you literally just said.
I'm just talking to somebody else already.
You are? This is the first I've heard of him. Who is it?
Who is it for actually? Hey, Chrys? She diverts, but I indulge her since she's been so patient with me. It's not one of her strong suits, admittedly. What?
Do you want to have dinner with me and a friend of mine? At the Jade Place, of course.
She's trying to distract me with food, and it's working. But I won't let her get away with it that easily.
Oh, is this friend a special someone?
Yeah, you could say that.
Then bring them along. We can go out tonight. I could go for some mozzarella sticks right about now. I'm starving.
I feel my mouth drool at the thought of them.
Sure thing. Meet us there in an hour.
Okay, no problem. See you then. And, B?
Oh, her name's Bee, like a bee. I love that. Yes?
Thanks for listening to what I have on my mind. Now and, well, every time before.
You don't have to thank me. I know you do the same for me too. I'll see you soon. Be safe. Love you.
Love you too.
Aw, besties. The phone hangs up a second later, and I head upstairs. If I don't get any food in me, I'm going to collapse. Okay. And that is where I will leave it today. Left us in a little cliffhanger. We have now met Chrys, Shay, and Bee. And Granny has been mentioned many a time, so I hope we get to see Granny soon also. This is really fun. I really like this so far. I don't know what took me so long to get to this, but I'm so glad that I am checking it out now. I hope that you are enjoying the game so far. Let me know what you think of Chrys and Shay and Bee. They all seem very wonderful so far, and I'm really excited to see how they'll interact in the future. I'm also excited to see who is this special someone, this friend of Bee's that is going to meet Chrys tonight. So I'm sure that will all go, like, all of that will go well, but I'll have to keep myself in suspense until next time. Anyways, if you like the video, please press the like button, and if you like to subscribe and see more of Tattoos and Tulips, then feel free to subscribe. I also post other visual novel playthroughs on my channel, so you can also check those out. And if you do that, make sure you also hit the bell for notifications of when I post. Anyways, again, have a good rest of your day. I will see you next time. Bye!